Hey everybody, today's video is all about fasting and the benefits of fasting. Now for those of you who don't know what intermittent fasting is, it's become very popular in the health and fitness scene, and it's where you have periods of eating and periods of fasting. Now the whole basis for intermittent fasting has been substantiated in science, and there is actually so many benefits to fasting. I did intermittent fasting about 5 years ago, but I didn't do it correctly. My head wasn't in the right space for one thing, and the way that I was doing it wasn't good for my body. I was also super run down in the job that I was working that I wasn't happy with, so intermittent fasting didn't really work for me back then. But little did I know that I was actually doing it over the last 2 years, which has made such a huge impact in my body. I went from between a size 12 and a 14 to between a size 6 and an 8. I didn't consciously set out to lose weight. I did change my diet to eat more of a plant-based diet. I cut out sugar, but I had also started to intermittent fast without me realizing it. So the whole basis for intermittent fasting is you want to try and go anywhere from 13 to 16 hours without eating. Now that may sound like a long time, but if you're getting that high quality 8 hours of sleep, that's basically all of your fast. So what I started to do, which had made such a huge difference in my body composition, was I stopped eating anywhere from 4 to 5 hours before I went to bed. If you have built in the unhealthy habit of snacking before bed, this is going to be really challenging. When I work with clients, I always get them to start small. Maybe if you eat 1 hour before bed, you try to stop eating 2 hours before bed. If it's 2 hours, maybe you try for 3. But research has shown that a minimum of 4 hours before we go to bed to stop eating has been shown to improve sleep quality, it's been shown to improve your digestion, and it's been shown to improve weight loss. So I started doing this probably about 2 years ago. I stopped eating after dinner. I refused to eat in the evening and let my digestion just rest. My next meal sometimes wouldn't be until 9:30 the next morning, depending on if I went to the gym before I ate. So I was already getting anywhere from 14 to 16 hours of that fast without even realizing what I was doing. Now, when we fast, we increase our insulin sensitivity. This is huge because metabolic syndrome is skyrocketing. And when we have metabolic syndrome, such as type 2 diabetes, we start to become insulin resistant. So we really want to control insulin inside of our bodies. There's 2 times during the day when insulin is the most sensitive, which is what we want. One is after our workouts, after we've exerted a lot of energy, but the second one is after we've fasted. So actually, our insulin is much more sensitive. We're able to utilize the food that we eat much better when we fasted for a prolonged period of time. Not only do we increase our insulin sensitivity, but we increase our human growth hormone, which helps us to burn fat and to stay lean. So it's a double whammy. We're increasing our insulin sensitivity, we're increasing our human growth hormone. Fasting has been shown to help reduce and reverse disease. It helps to regenerate your cells. It helps to change the expression of your genes. Fasting is so beneficial, and so many of us don't do it. In the fitness world, we're told eat every 3 hours, but our body doesn't need that much food. We're in a culture where we have an overabundance of food, and even though we're overfed, most of us are still undernourished. We don't need to eat as much as we think we do. It's good to let your body get hungry. It's good to let those reserves dwindle because your body knows how to utilize very little food. Now, this isn't me saying go and starve yourself. It's about letting your body feel that hunger and not overloading your system. Fasting is also a great way to lose weight in a healthy way, and it's really good for our mind too, to take a break from that constant preoccupation that we have with eating and making food. Again, this isn't about starving yourself, it's about eating the right foods at the right time for your body. After you've done your fast, the best thing that you can do is give yourself high levels of nutrients. Another thing that's going to benefit your intermittent fasting is not overloading your system with carbohydrates for your first meal. Maybe you do that at dinner, but right after your fast, try and get as much lean protein and healthy fats. Fruits and vegetables, berries are the best because they don't spike your insulin. That's the best thing that you can do after your fast. Then have your regular lunch, and maybe you have more of your carbs in the evening at dinner. Again, everything you should be eating should be whole foods, so it really doesn't matter when that is. But it has been shown that after your fast, to not overload your system with carbs if weight loss and cell repair and type 2 diabetes is an issue for you. Fasting is one of those great ways that we can maintain our weight, maintain our health, and possibly reverse disease. All we have to do is be willing to live a life where we're not overloading our system with food, where we're not constantly thinking about food, but we're thinking about how we can nourish our body, our mind, and our soul. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I'd love to know if you have ever heard of intermittent fasting, if you do intermittent fasting, and what the results have been for you. All right, thanks so much. Bye-bye.